As I get older, I'm frightened of one thing. I'm not frightened of getting old as such, and I'm not frightened of being alone like my 95-year-old Uncle Archie. But there is one thing that I am frightened of. My biggest fear as a 64-year-old man is that I'll die with a big regret. And that regret is that I don't make the most of my remaining healthy years. In this video, I'll share why that is my biggest fear and what I'm doing to make sure that it doesn't happen. As I said earlier, my biggest fear is that I'll die regretting not making the most of my remaining healthy years. I don't want to get to the end of my life and have that regret. The regret that I've missed out on things that I wanted to do, but I didn't get round to doing them because I let time drift away. Time is my most precious commodity, and it's your most precious commodity too. And I want to use it wisely. I don't know how many good years I've got left. I hope it's a lot. At 64, I hope I've got at least 20 years, even 30, but there's always the chance that I won't have. So it's important to me that I spend my precious time and energy with people who are worth the time and effort. In this video, I'll share with you how I've turned that fear into a plan of action. You will learn the 3 mindset shifts that stop regret ruling your actions. I'll share the practical filters that I use to decide what and who I spend my time on. I'll also share a simple weekly ritual that protects your good years without being obsessive. And finally, I'll share how all this fits into the bigger picture of a goal which is retiring rich in time, not just money. Here's what happened when I stopped treating time like an unlimited replenishable resource. I cut activities and people that drained me and replaced them with easily replicated, predictable investments. And by investment, I don't mean stocks and shares. I mean small, repeatable things that give a good return on energy. Now that change has given me an extra 6 to 10 hours a week of high quality time. The important thing is that I did a relationship assessment and I politely stepped back from anybody that kept me stuck, and I doubled down on people who actually add value to my life. The result? Less disappointment and more connection. And because I started prioritizing more meaningful use of time by starting fulfilling projects like my 6-pillar operating system, which I talked about in a previous video. I'll link to that in the description. And also this YouTube channel. These were things that I'd put off for many years, but I now prioritize above everything else. And the payoff hasn't just been pleasure, it's confidence that I am spending my time wisely and intentionally, and I'm reaping the physical and mental benefits of doing that. I don't want you to think that these are brag numbers, because they're not at all. They're proof that small, consistent choices add up over time. So let me take you through the 5 steps that I have used to make sure that the biggest fear that I have does not come to pass. Let's get into it in this video. Step 1. 3 simple mindset shifts. Mindset shift number 1. Getting your brain round the fact that time is finite. It's not going to be replenished. So you have to stop treating it like an unlimited utility. Now that doesn't mean panic, but it does mean respectful urgency. Think of your good years like a library loan. Take out the books that you genuinely want to read. In other words, do the things that add value. The second mindset shift is that regret is a compass. It's not a jail sentence. My biggest fear doesn't have to define me. It doesn't have to eat away at me. When you fear regret, follow it. Ask a simple question. What one thing would I regret not trying? And use that as a North Star, not a criticism. The third mindset shift is this. Aim for wise enough, not perfect. Perfect planning eats time. Things don't have to be perfect. Iteration wins every time. It's about getting on with it, not making it perfect. You just have to do the thing, learn and adjust. Like I did with this YouTube channel, and like I still continue to do. My delivery to camera is by no means perfect, but I'm learning all the time and I'm trying to improve. But the one thing that I'm not doing is I'm not getting hung up about it. I do my best and I'll make a concerted effort to do better. Step 2 is a time filter framework. You could call that the practical knife. Whenever a new innovation, person, or habit asks for your time, run it through these 3 filters. If it passes 2 of them, it stays. If not, politely decline or delay. Filter number 1, value to energy ratio. Ask, does this activity add more value than it takes energy? Value can be growth, joy, connection, or freedom. If an event leaves you depleted and it gives very little back, it's a definite candidate to skip. Filter number 2, the future you alignment. Ask this question: will future me be thankful that I did this? If yes, do it. If the answer is maybe or no, ask for a trial or limit the time. My 3rd filter is opportunity cost scan. Ask the question, what will I not do if I accept this? If the cost is losing something that is really important to you, something simple like even a weekly walk or a meaningful side project or a time with someone important, be very cautious. Step 3, a weekly ritual that protects your mind. I think of this as a weapon. Once a week, I schedule a 2-hour solo block of time just for me. It's non-negotiable. No meetings, no chores, no time spent with another person. And for me, that is a 2-hour walk in nature. For you, it could be learning a language, sketching or painting, or maybe working on planning a bucket list trip. Why only 2 hours, you ask? Well, it's long enough to make progress and short enough to be sacred. Step 4, relationship assessment. This one is to decide who gets those years that are remaining. Classify people into 3 zones: core, casual, and reduce. Core people are those that you will prioritize. Close family members and your best friends. And of course, time with mentors. Casual are people whose company you enjoy, but they're probably not going to be there for you in the hard times. Enjoy them when they are, but put a limit on the amount of time that you spend with them. And finally, reduce. That's an easy one. These are the emotional vampires and leeches that will suck away your energy. They're the ones who suck away your time and your joy as well. Make sure that you set simple boundaries to cover all 3 types of people. Keep them to yourself. There's no need to let the 3 groups of people know that you've got these boundaries. Say to yourself, I'm only available twice a month for this activity, or I'm only available for 2 hours once a week, or I can only join a meeting for 60 minutes. Make those boundaries sacred to you. For example, I limit any time with strangers to 30 minutes until I've got to know them better. And when it comes to my coaching and my mentoring that I do, I only do that on 1 day a week, and I only block off 3 or 4 hours on that day to do that. Now, setting boundaries like this might feel awkward at first, but trust me, it's essential and it will be liberating. You just have to say no, but don't give a reason. Do not tell people why you're not doing these things. That's for you. They're your boundaries and you don't need to explain them to people. Just simply say, I'm not available, or I can't make that. Or if you use an online calendar, block off time so that people can't book into that calendar. Never, under any circumstances, offer a because. My final step, number 5, low friction joy investments. Things that give a huge return for a small effort. I advise you to pick 3 repeatable activities that return high joy or growth. For me, that's a daily 3-mile walk in this beautiful city of York. Or it's a 1-hour weight training session at the gym. Or it's going off on a micro adventure to somewhere that I've never been before, that's never been planned. Or it's my latest hobby, which is baking sourdough bread. Now for you, it might be something completely different. It's personal to you. Maybe it's a weekend mini trip. Maybe it's a weekly dinner with friends. Or maybe it's a creative 45-minute project. Sketching, painting, sculpting, whatever floats your boat. And I advise you to rotate them so that your life feels rich without being chaotic. So here's a quick recap of the things that I've talked about. The 5 simple steps that I take to ensure that I don't have the regret that I fear the most. What about you? What's your biggest fear? And what do you do to make sure that it'll never come to pass? Leave a comment. I'd love to hear your story. If this video resonated with you, you might want to watch this one next. It's about the 6 pillars, the operating system that I've built over the last 10 years to ensure that I get the most out of my 60s. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.